What's going on, guys? So I've had my BRZ for about 5 years now. I can't believe it, time has flown. I'm gonna tell you guys what it's been like owning a turbocharged BRZ for this long and what kind of issues I ran into, what kind of issues I currently have as well, and basically what it's like to drive this thing. And yes, it is a showstopper. People love it. So we're gonna get into it and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So a lot of you guys have asked me what turbo kit am I running in my BRZ, and this one is actually the Speed by Design. They don't make these anymore, and you might notice it looks a little bit different than the original listings. It's got a different intake here as well. I think it looks much better than the stock one. But the number one issue I had with this was there was a flaw in the design on the original air intake, and the screw would vibrate loose, and what ended up happening was that screw went loose and the turbo chopped it up and the fins actually got damaged from it. So I did have to have that sent out to get replaced. But other than that, the turbo has been great with little to no issues. And if you own a BRZ, you know this bumper gap right here can be so frustrating and annoying. But if I ever hit a bump or something, or I'm too low on something, it ends up popping up almost every time. And it's even the same way on the other side. I need to replace the actual bracket, but I know that doesn't last very long either. Now you may have noticed this thing is pretty well modded out. Just a quick list of the mods that are on it. We do have the VLAN headlights as well as the VLAN taillights, but we also have this STI front lip here as well. Of course, the wrap, the turbocharged, some STI badges on the side here as well. VLAN taillights as well as the third brake light and a diffuser. And of course, we're on E85 and boosted too, which is pretty nice. And we actually used to have side skirts on this as well, but they got ripped off on the highway one day, so I pulled the other one off and I have not ordered any since. So other than that, that's kind of the outside mods. Let's jump into the inside. So my interior actually looks a little bit different than the stock interior. You can see we have the center console right here, nice armrest, which is really nice. If you don't have one of these, highly recommend snagging one of these up. A shifter knob from a different model BRZ. I don't think this one comes with the red. That one actually came with the car as well. And of course, one of my favorite mods of this car was upgrading the radio. This thing has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well. We've got the integrated boost gauge right here that still allows the air to come out, so it's functional, which is really nice. And as far as the exhaust, I'm pretty sure it's called the MXP Comp RS. I bought it so long ago, I can't even really remember, but yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. It is on a cold start, so it's a little loud right now. So we're gonna take this thing out for a spin now. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it looks like from my perspective, driving the turbocharged BRZ in the city here. It's a little cloudy, but we're gonna do it anyway. So you would think that after 5 years of ownership that I might get a little tired of the BRZ and ready for something else. Although I am ready for like a truck and things like that, I have actually dailied a stick shift for 5 years now as a two-door coupe, which is kind of crazy. But honestly, every single time I get in this car, I love it. Now, like I said, it is about 100 horsepower over stock. We're on 85 and pushing 10 pounds of boost, which is a huge plus with this car too. It feels like a lot of power and it just makes it so much more fun to drive. So yes, every time I get in it, it puts a smile on my face. I love the turbo sounds. It's just a blast to drive. Although I will say dailying a stick shift for 5 years has become a little much, and definitely ready for an automatic. But I most definitely would not sell this thing. Now with it being boosted, I will say if you have a BRZ and yours is boosted, that first gear is almost non-existent for me, only from like a dead stop when it comes to like really getting on the throttle. But second gear, I can do a great pull in as well. Like if we just downshift real quick here, and then we'll just give it a little bit. Definitely a lot of fun, easy to spin the tires out as well. And you may have noticed we actually have a video rear view camera, which is a nice addition. So if you have been thinking about getting one of those, definitely recommend it. I forget how nice it is to actually have that whenever I use someone else's car, and it's like just a standard one. So recommend grabbing that if you're able to. As far as gas mileage, I still do get about 15 to 22 mpg, depending on where I'm at. Being boosted, you know, highway, I can definitely get it in the 20s, no problem. But with the E85 and being boosted, I don't get great gas mileage, but it is really cheap to fill up being on E85, so it's kind of a pro and con there. Now with my current tune, I can actually change my maps on the fly. So for instance, if I hold in my cruise control, it'll change the RPM there and I can go up and down to different maps. So if I wanted like a pop tune or something like that, I can definitely do that too. So we put it on 4, it's kind of got that pop grumble tune, burple tune as some people call it, which I'm not a huge fan of. I enjoy it at times, but it's not quite the sound I would want. But it is really nice that with this platform, you guys are able to do something like that. So in my opinion, if you already have a BRZ and you've been really debating turboing it or putting a supercharger on it or anything like that, it's going to completely change the way you feel and drive your car, obviously, but it's going to put a smile on your face 10 times more, and it's not going to make you want to sell it. So if you've actually been thinking about putting a turbo or a supercharger on your BRZ, FRS, or 86, and you've kind of been on the fence about it, let me just say with this video, with my experience, I've had one for 5 years. I've got it about 23,000 miles, and we're currently at 71,000 with little issues on it, nothing too serious, and the car still drives great. No knocking noises or anything like that. And again, I kept the maintenance up pretty well on it too, so it's going to be something I want to keep in mind. But turbocharging it at about 10 psi, upgraded injectors, fuel pump. So again, if you're worried about the longevity of doing a turbocharger or supercharger with all the stock internals and stock transmission with just a few upgrades, I've not had any issues. And don't get me wrong, I love the look of the new BRZs, but this old model right here is just so photogenic and just looks fantastic no matter which angle you look at it from. I mean, it's hard to beat. This thing is a showstopper. So if you have the newer models, don't get me wrong, they look great, but man, there's just something about the body lines and everything on this one here. So hopefully you guys are able to hear that a little bit more with the windows down. But like I said, if you've been thinking about getting a BRZ, they're a great car to have, lots of fun. And then if you turbocharge it and maybe do 85, it's a completely different car. At this point, I couldn't imagine this car being stock. It just would not be near as fun. And being able to know you have that power ready to go at any point is just fantastic. You can see my display in there is actually the LCD display, or like the screen, like the little screen, whatever you want to call that, versus the older ones are more red. So definitely recommend getting 2017 or newer. I believe that's the first year they started coming out with that. Just looks a little bit better. Your interior is slightly different too, but that screen again kind of shows you like your torque and your power band lines and all that. So if you've been on the fence about getting a BRZ or turbocharging your BRZ, just do it. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun, and I've had really good reliability, pushing about 313 to 315 HP on it with 10 psi boost. So just keep that in mind. It's not super boosted. We're right at that level of like being able to daily drive it without being too much, while also being able to enjoy it as well. So that's my numbers, guys. Definitely do recommend it. If you guys have any questions, let me know as well. Make sure you guys are like and subscribe too if you enjoy these videos. I'm happy to do more as well. And if there's something you want to see on the car, or you recommend, or I said or did something wrong, let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys as well. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one.